This caused Anna to follow Alan to the underground garage, a face like a fall rain, particularly melancholy. Alan's driver came to the garage early, saw the two men, and opened the door. Anna seldom lets Alan send herself to school. Even if she does, she can't send her to the gate because she is also a celebrity in Mingda. She doesn't want to be discussed in school forums because of her private life. She tries to keep a low profile. It's the same this time. Alan sent Anna to the west gate of Mingda, across the street. The west gate is very close to the law school teaching building. After getting off the bus, walk faster, and you can arrive in 5 minutes. Anna didn't get out of the car for a while. She heard the car behind her whistle. She turned her head, and the car drove forward a little. Alan lowered the window. "Don't you want the bag?" The car was right next to her, and Anna, "Oh," said, taking the bag from Alan's hand. She carried her school bag on her back and hurried to the Ming West Gate. In the back seat of the car, the man's handsome face was filled with Gui Qingjun. When Anna's figure was completely out of sight at the school gate, he slowly spoke to the driver. "Let's go." Anna just rang the bell as she walked quickly into the classroom. Usually 3 roommates will help her to occupy seats, and it is the same today. When she arrived in the classroom, the back seats were basically full. Anna did not see the 3 roommates in the back seat for a long time. "Pair here." She heard Kong Yuanyuan's voice from the position of the second row against the wall. Anna walked over and said to a gay man sitting on the edge, "Excuse me, classmate." The male classmate stayed for a while before standing up and letting her in. Anna said thank you to the male classmates and sat down in the empty seat next to Han Ranxue and asked them, "Why are you sitting in front today?" In the first row of positive numbers, Anna has sat in front only a handful of times since her freshman year. It's not that she doesn't like studying, but that she simply doesn't want to sit in front of class. Nie Shanshan, sitting between Han Ranxue and Kong Yuanyuan, said, "Yuanyuan's cell phone is dead. The jacks at the back of this classroom are all occupied, only here." Anna glanced at her eyes and found that Kong Yuanyuan's cell phone was charging with a plug-in hole in the corner. She asked her, "What did you do last night, and why didn't you charge it?" Kong Yuanyuan said, "Oh, don't say it. My cell phone ran out of electricity last night. I went to bed after plugging in a thread. When I woke up in the morning, I found that the button for powering on the patch panel was not turned on at all." Anna said, "You are really good." After spitting out the hole, Anna took out her pen, textbook, and mobile phone from her bag. "I just dropped my cell phone and saw it vibrate." A new WeChat message popped up on the screen. The head portrait shows Han Ranxue. Anna thought to herself, wouldn't Han Ranxue sit next to her? Although the bell rang, the teacher hasn't entered the classroom yet. "Is there anything you can't say now?" Han Ranxue cast a puzzled look at her. Han Ranxue squeezed her eyes and motioned her to look at her cell phone quickly. Anna picked up the phone and unlocked the screen. "Now in my mind, I still have the book, Pet Marriage Honey Love, Iceberg Overlord's Little Wife, that she threw in the kitchen trash can." Han Ranxue, "To tell you the truth, I found your big secret." Anna, question mark. Han Ranxue, "The 33 who appeared at the anniversary party last night is your mysterious husband who doesn't want to be named?" Anna immediately turned to look at Han Ranxue. Han Ranxue's face was full of "I am so witty and sharp" expression. She buried her head and typed with her fingers flexibly. Anna looked down at the phone before it vibrated. The next second, the content edited by Han Ranxue was sent. "Don't worry, I didn't tell Nie Shanshan and Kong Yuanyuan that this secret helped you cover it well." "How did you find out?" Anna was curious. "Because last night she said Alan was 33? Not by her round back." Han Ranxue, "You are wearing the same ring on your hands." Oh, she forgot such an important clue herself. Subconsciously, she looked at the diamond ring worn on her left hand. It was 8-carat and rose-shaped. Under the bright light, it emitted a faint light, glittering and translucent, like a star hidden. The mobile phone vibrated again, and Han Ranxue stressed, 33 is exactly the same as the ring on your hand." Han Ranxue, right? I didn't guess wrong." Han Ranxue, "Isn't that right? I was staring at the big screen for a long time. Your rings are the same." At this time the teacher came in. Anna did not answer Han Ranshue directly, and said in her ear, "Class." Han Ranshue looked up at the teacher and held his cell phone in his hand. Call me Sherlock Holmes Snow in the future. Her meticulous insight, not to be a detective, is indeed really a pity, thought Anna. Today's morning class is a headache for Anna, called International Economic Law. Although the teacher spoke vividly and interestingly, she could not change the fact that its content was boring and boring. Anna failed to understand some knowledge points. Perhaps this has something to do with the fact that Han Ranshue can break her real relationship with Alan. The first class, she felt, spent very slowly. After class was over, Han Ranshue did not let her go and continued to cue her on WeChat. Han Ranshue. Pair, if you don't admit it, you will default. Blink. JPG. Anna denied. You are wrong. Han Ranshue. 33 is how shady, you dare not admit it. How to mention 33 again. She shouldn't have exposed Alan's age last night. He is quite old, but only she can laugh at him. Han Ranshue is busy. Anna, I was joking last night. He's only 25. 25 don't disobey, he actually. Indeed. Not old. Han Ranshue. You admit it. Anna closed her eyes and reluctantly typed out the word. Han Ranshue immediately sent a lot of facial expressions to come over. Xiao Lu Duck twisted his waist. Chai Dog tons of laughter. Mushroom had ballet spinning. I don't know why she was so excited. Anna felt that she should be proud of her ability to show a wave of detectives comparable to Holmes and Conan. Han Ranshue, you are a good match. He is so handsome, and you are so beautiful. Well, maybe he is a little old. Han Ranshue knew Anna's family was rich, so she was not too surprised to confirm that her marriage partner was the entrepreneur VIP invited to the school anniversary party last night. Anna repeated, he's only 25. You can't say he's old. Only I can say. Han Ranshue. Who are you kidding? Your husband has information online. What? Has Han Ranshue already searched Alan? Anna couldn't help Alan hide his age. Han Ranshue seemed to magically become her and Alan's CP powder. What should I do? I suddenly want to write a Marisol novel with you and 33 as the main characters. God, think about it, is so sweet me out. Sisters, in fact, he and I are just plastic couples, not so loving. Anna shifted the focus. Please don't call him 33, thank you. This is an attack on life. Han Ranshue. Hey, are you protecting your shortcomings so soon? Anna. Anyway, don't call him 33 again. Han Ranshue. Ouch, all right. No more shouting. The 3 sections of International Economic Law ended with difficulty. Many people happened to be in this classroom in the next class, so only some people left the classroom. Among them was Anna's roommate Kong Yuan, another teacher she chose for her next class, so she had to go to another classroom. Although there is no restriction that her mobile phone has to be recharged, Anna, Han Ranshue, and Nia Shanshan all stayed in the original second row because they did not want to move and were lazy. In the row in front of Anna, Chung Luoxin, who had the light of their law school, was sitting. Chung Luoxin, like her, is the focus of Ming's attention, but she is famous only for her appearance, while Chung Luoxin is because of her comprehensive quality. Chung Luoxin is a god-level figure. From freshman to now, he has a grade point of 4.0. The champion of the 3-time Moot Court University League matches receives various scholarships every year, from the college level to the national level. At the same time, he is the president of the Ming University Student Union and the president of the debate club. In the past, it was difficult for Anna to sit so close to such a god-learning figure because Chung Luoxin basically sat in the first row in every class, and she and several roommates were in the back row. Anna felt that she had to ask more questions if she didn't understand. Several students surrounded the teacher on the platform, so she poked Chung Luoxin with a pen. Chung Luoxin was reading a book when he was suddenly poked. When he turned his head, his face was full of doubts. Hey, can I ask you? There are several places in the class of International Economic Law just now that I don't quite understand, said Anna. Chung Luoxin asked coldly. Where? Anna pushed the textbook over, pointed something with her pen, and said, Why did you choose FOB instead of CIF for this question? Chung Luoxin said, I don't understand such a simple question. I understand, and I won't ask you. Anna felt that Chung Ruoshin was too impolite to speak. She remembered that when other students asked her questions, she was very patient. Chung Ruoshin looked at her as if he wanted to stare at her cheeks and blush. He said, "You usually spend more time reading books, preview before class, and review after class. You can't be unable to do such a simple question." Is she being offended? It seems to feel a kind of contempt for self-taught God. Anna suddenly clenched the pen in her hand, unable to refute a word. Han Ranshue and Nye Shanshan both looked strange. When Chung Ruoshin turned around, Han Ranshue leaned into Anna and lowered his voice. "Did you offend her before?" Doubts include the classmates around them because Chung Luo Xian is quite popular in the college, and many people have a good relationship with Chung Luo Xian because Chung Luo Xian is not that kind of nerd, and she has high qualities in all aspects, including dealing with people. How can Chung Luo Xian just react to Anna like that? Anna: "No, I haven't talked to her much before." Although they are all in their junior year, up to now, Anna has not been able to recognize all the people in the college. On weekdays, she only gets closer to Han Ranshue, Nye Shanshan, and Kong Yuan, who have had a roommate friendship with her for half a year. Han Ranshue said, "Chung Loxin should not have targeted you on purpose. It is estimated that she is in a bad mood today." Anna's self-esteem is very strong and she can be lazy at ordinary times, but if something happens to excite her, she will immediately fight like chicken blood. At that time, with the same strength that she wanted to impress Alan, she resumed her studies for 2 years, studied hard, rushed into the top 10 of grade from the end of the class, and then got into Mingda. So, after today's class, she did not carry her school bag back to her small apartment, but went to the library of Mingda to study. At 8 o'clock in the evening, I received Alan's WeChat. "Pear, why aren't you home?" The next day is Saturday. Anna and Alan got up and went to Wen's old house together. Anna would come to Wen's old house every Saturday to see Alan's grandfather Wen Qishan, even in the months when Alan was away. When Ellen is busy, Winsamon will pick her up to go to Wen's house. At the villa, Anna's plain face disappeared and a bright smile appeared. She took Alan's arm and walked in with him under the eyes of the guard at the door. When Qishan was diagnosed with lung cancer 3 years ago in the middle stage. In the past few years, he has been doing conservative treatment. Anna's impression of Grandpa Wen, before he was ill, reached the age of 70, and he still insisted on winter swimming. After taking a hot bath, he often went mountain climbing and parachuting. He is a great and energetic old man who is more powerful than her grandfather. Everything came to an abrupt end when Qishan suddenly fainted 3 years ago. Because of the serious illness, when Qishan was finally willing to accept the reality that he was old. He couldn't afford to do it for 3 years. He kept his thermos bottle in his hand every day and actively kept in good health. Grandpa. Walking in, he saw old man when throwing fish at a fish tank with a cane. Anna called him aloud. "Ouch! Here comes the pear girl." When Qishan saw Anna, wrinkled face radiant. Anna's grandfather and parents both left early. When Qishan felt sorry for Anna and always regarded her as a granddaughter. When Qishan's love for Anna was even better than that of several grandchildren. Anna also relied on Wen Qishan's favor and indulged herself arbitrarily from an early age. Wen's younger generation followed her and let her, including Ellen, who eventually became her husband. You come as soon as you come, buy anything, and every time you buy something, there is no room for it. Seeing Alan's driver coming with a big bag, Wen Qishan abandoned the road. "Grandpa, these are all brought back by Jiying's brother from abroad. I didn't buy any of them. I won't buy them for you if you told me last time," said Anna. Wen Qishan has always had 2 faces for male and female grandsons. He has always kissed and hugged female grandsons. He often teaches male and grandsons with sticks and seldom looks good. He looked at Alan and said, "What did you buy? Show me." With this sentence, the old man coughed violently, and Anna frowned. "Grandpa, don't get excited. Brother Jiying is so happy to buy you a present. I'm jealous." The mouth is teasing the old man, but Anna's heart is full of worry. When Shishan's illness has been consumed for the past 3 years, and the illness on her body is hard to get rid. When Shishan was helped to sit down in a chair by Anna and Alan. The pile of things Alan bought were brought over and placed on the table according to the old man's wishes for him to see. When Shishan is actually looking for a topic to talk to Alan. Among the younger generation, Alan is the oldest and the most like when Shishan. When he doesn't speak, his face is cold and not easy to approach. Alan has had little time to see Wen Shishan since he took over Wen's. He came more often after Wen Shishan's body got worse. What did you buy for me? Did you buy for the pear girl?
Wen Shishan asked.
Anna herself replied, yes, my brother bought me a lot of bags and cosmetics.
She didn't lie about this.
Alan had very little time to accompany her. When she couldn't see her, she bought all kinds of bags, clothes, shoes, and lipstick perfume to deal with her. In recent months, these things have been sent from abroad. Listen to Anna say so. When Shishan picked the old eyebrow, the mood is happy. Grandma and Grandpa. Up to now, Anna only saw the shadow of Aunt Zhou and Aunt Zhang, but not Old Lady Wen, so she asked. When Shishan. Who knows where she went? Anna got up. I'll look for Grandma. Alan hasn't been home for several months. When Shishan should have something to say to him alone. Anna went to see Old Lady Wen. Old Mrs. Wen is more homesick, not as active as Wen Shishan. She likes to stay in her room and read books. Anna soon found her at the door of her bedroom. Today's weather is better than yesterday's. The sun is golden. Anna stood at the door and saw Old Lady Wen bathing in the warm velvet sun, wearing a black-blue cheongsam embroidered with peony flowers, sitting on a mahogany chair, wearing gold-rimmed reading glasses, and looking down at a photo album carefully. As she gets older, her figure is still graceful, elegant, and bookish. If you can, Anna also wants to live like Old Lady Wen when she is old. Grandma. Afraid of disturbing the old man, Anna shouted not too loudly. Mrs. Wen took off her eyes. It's a pear girl. Anna walked up to Mrs. Wen, took a sip on her face, and said, What is Grandma looking? The next second, the eyes stagnated, because she looked down and saw that the photo album in Mrs. Wen's hand just turned to a familiar page. In the photo that appears in front of you at the moment, a little girl with a fleshy face and a 3-year-old girl is sitting in the arms of a teenager in a small suit. The little girl seemed to have just cried her nose. Her eyes were red and her nose was red, just like a little rabbit who had only been bullied. Her paws tightly grabbed the boy's sleeve and turned to look at the camera. Young facial features exquisite, young age. Appearance cannot hide the handsome, green brow between a cold, proud, and noble gas. Who are this little girl and teenager? Not her and Ellen. Old Mrs. Wen also thought of turning out the photo album to nostalgia, because Alan was coming today. I remember when I took this photo we hugged you, and you couldn't cry. I couldn't coax you. When Xiaoying hugged you, you sniffed and stopped crying. Now that I think about it, it's amazing. Old Mrs. Wen laughed. Anna. Old Mrs. Wen helped the reading glasses and turned them forward. And this one, look, it's so funny. This is when you catch Zhou. People's children catch gold bracelets, writing brushes, and books. You can bypass these things and hold on to Xiaoying. Ha, ha, ha. We will all laugh at you for catching Zhouing. Old Mrs. Wen looked at the picture in her hand and smiled. In the photo, there is a scene in which Anna, who has just turned 1 year old, holds the 12-year-old version of Alan's thighs, and a bunch of adults are laughing around. Black history is black history. Anna didn't look at herself at all. Temperature the old lady seemed to be unable to stop talking. Ha 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 ha, you were really sticky at that time. Moreover, at that time, Xiaoying was the big brother in the family. He was silent and cold-tempered. Every child was afraid of him. See Mian, Xiao Yan, and Jingyu were basically far away from him when you saw him. You loved him and were not afraid of him. So this is fate? You and Xiaoying have fulfilled the wishes of your grandfather and Xiaoying. No, I was backed by Grandpa Wen at that time. I was not afraid of anything, and naturally I was not afraid of Alan. Anna said in her mind. Anna and Alan stayed in the old house until the afternoon, and when Simeon was busy filming until dinner time. When Simeon is the kind of person who is very lively when he is familiar with it and has a strong desire to express himself. In the past, when Alan was not present, when Simeon would talk a lot with Anna and talk about all kinds of gossip in the entertainment circle. He couldn't stop at all. There was an extra Alan at the dinner table today, and when Simeon was a little less lively, and he didn't say anything about the gossip in a circle. Alan is famous for his cold temper. He sits there and releases the low pressure virtually. When Simeon is not very open. Her relationship with Anna is much closer than that with Alan, her cousin. It is also because Alan's image in her heart is not the same as Anna's in her heart that she has a strong feeling of, isn't this my cousin and my sister-in-law, when she sees the book Pet Marriage and Love. Iceberg dominates General's little wife. After dinner, Anna and when Simeon, two intimate little cotton-padded jackets, accompanied Mrs. One and when Chishan to sit in the living room watching TV and chatting. Alan sat on another sofa, brushing his cell phone in silence. He has never talked much, or in other words, he has no common language with everyone. After the meeting, Old Lady Wen asked Aunt Zhang to bring a gadget. Grandma, how could you have such a thing? When Simeon was surprised. This is the saying that the young master bought it for the old lady. Aunt Zhang said with a smile. Yes, Xiaoyan now regards me as a child and buys these toys to coax me, but this is really interesting. When Old Lady Childlike said. It's a shark toy that bites your fingers. Brother, what brain circuit is this, Grandma? Do you like this toy? Winsamon laughed loudly. Everyone said words one after another. Anna subconsciously looked at Alan and saw that his face was indeed a little cold. Pear, it's your turn. When Simeon and Mrs. Wen have both pressed their teeth, and it's Anna's turn. Anna was a little absent-minded and did not press down for a long time. When Simeon. Oh, it's okay. Be bold. Just go ahead. Don't be unintelligent. You see somebody else's grandmother. Every time press so calm. Anna started to press down one. When it was when Simeon's turn again, the shark bit down ferociously, scaring everyone out of control, and Mrs. Wen laughed cheerfully. Come again, come again. When Simeon said, this stupid toy is quite interesting. Anna made a noise at this moment. Grandma, Grandpa, shall I peel apples for you? She tugged at when Simeon. When Simeon, how about we compete? See who peel the apples first. When Simeon wanted to play with the shark toy again, but Anna was also a good offer, saying, yes. What apples to peel? It's very dangerous to take a knife. Stop it, you two. When said the old lady. Two delicate little girls peeling apples? Old Mrs. Wen had some difficulty in imagining that picture. Oh, let them cut if they want. When Chishan rode, Aunt Zhang, bring 2 fruit knives. We have to choose about the same size, right? I want this. Then I want this. The 2 men had just picked out the apples from the fruit basket when they saw Alan getting up from the sofa and calling Anna, Pear is gone, like grandparents go to bed early. He didn't look very good and didn't seem to want to stay any longer. When Old Lady Hindsight to react to what? In the mind, a burst of regret. Anna said, what's the rush? It's still early. When Chishan smashed crutches. What time is it now? If you are busy, go first and let the pear girl be with me. I asked the driver to take her back at 9 o'clock. Alan Dao. You are not well. You should go to bed early. When Chishan hates people saying that he is in poor health. I am in good health. When Chishan really can't stay up late. Anna hugged when Chishan's arm and said, Grandpa, I'm not leaving. I'll peel this apple for you before I go. Peel this apple and go. Alan looked at the bulging when Chishan, then at Anna, and sat back without saying anything. Old Mrs. Wen quickly winked at Aunt Jo. Aunt Jo came up and took the shark toy down. Next, Anna and when Simeon cut apples together according to what they said before. They did not compare speed but quality, so one cut slower than the other. When Simeon watched the long apple peel break mercilessly and then fall down. Anna laughed. I won. When Simeon lost all interest directly, and the rest of the skin was too lazy to peel. Don't play, boring. How do you eat your grandparents before you finish cutting? said Anna. When Simeon said, Grandpa and Grandma will eat your one. When Chishan mocked when Simeon, you, a child, knew to give up halfway. Oops. When Simeon hugged when Chishan's arm and leaned his head against it. At this time, I heard Anna's voice. What's the matter? What's the matter? Did you cut your hand? When Chishan's old eyebrows stood up. When Anna was young, when Chishan was more nervous than anyone else. Once Anna and several other younger generation lost sandbags together because they were hit in the face by sandbags and cried badly. Those younger generation were all trained indiscriminately by Wen Chishan. When Mrs. Wen saw Anna's hand bleeding, she became nervous. Aunt Zhang, bring the medicine cabinet. Anna stared at her hands and nearly fainted. She is afraid of blood. A heavy fur smell came, and Ellen came to her side, sounding angry. Why are you so careless? Her fingers were pinched by him and contained them in her mouth. Because accidentally scratched his finger when Chishan didn't leave Anna anymore. Alan took Anna away after treating the wound. The night was dark, as if it had been splashed with thick ink. Anna sat in the back seat, head slightly tilted, looking out the window at the shuttle scenery. The streetlights of Mingcheng are on one by one, and the high-rise buildings are decorated with lights. The outside is full of splendor and prosperous like a dream. Anna suddenly saw Alan's profile on the window. His legs folded, and he leaned lazily on the back of the chair. His expression looked very light. He did not know what he was thinking, and his eyes were flat to the front. Anna lowered her head and looked at her band-aid left index finger. Images of Ellen sucking her wounds came to mind. He seemed nervous and concerned. Anna withdrew her thoughts and pulled her lower lip in self-deprecation. Stop being narcissistic. Every time you were injured as a child, he was so nervous and caring. Anna looked out the window again. Every time I leave the old house, I can't help but recall many things. Anna's grandfather and Alan's grandfather are comrades in arms and close friends. They drank the same bowl of blood. When Alan was 2 years old, Anna's parents had just got married. After playing a game of chess, the two old men solemnly discussed that if Anna's mother gave birth to a daughter, they would make a baby marriage with Alan. Both of them dreamed of being in-laws, but it took 8 years for Anna's mother's belly to move. Although the last one was not a fat boy, but a good granddaughter they had been looking forward to for a long time, because of the big age difference, both of them canceled the agreement they had made verbally. Baby kiss has become a kind of saying ridiculed by elders. Anna will occasionally hear from adults, if you had been born a few years earlier, you would have had a baby kiss with your younger brother. When Anna was a child, she didn't know what a baby kiss meant. She also grabbed Alan's sleeve and asked, Brother, what is a baby kiss? Ellen's face darkened at once, and of course it was impossible to answer her. When Anna was older, the elders no longer took this matter as a joke, but Anna kept it in mind. It is not clear when she fell in love and had a feeling for Alan. Maybe from the year of Anna's parents' accident. The year when Anna's parents left, Anna was only in the first year of junior high school. Alan got a master's degree from Ming University at that time. He had just graduated and had not taken over Wen's. He was just free and accompanied Anna every day. It was probably from that time that Anna became dependent on Alan. This dependence gradually evolved into an irreplaceable like. When Anna was in junior high school, she was relatively shy and deliberately hid her love for Alan. She was afraid that others would know her little secret. At that time, she also knew that their ages were too different. But in high school, she gradually couldn't restrain herself, and she didn't want to restrain herself anymore, because every time she saw a woman approaching Alan, she felt bad. Especially as Alan got busier and busier. I can't see Ellen. She's got it in her heart. Born a kind of panic, afraid of Alan into someone else's. She couldn't imagine that one day, Alan would get married and have children, and she would get farther and farther away from her. Decided not to hide anymore. So she began to play a careful game to let Wen Chishan know that she liked Ellen. At that time, she naively thought that Wen Chishan could satisfy her with anything, and perhaps he could press Alan's head and let him marry her. Although in the end it seemed so. When Kashan didn't take her liking seriously at first and told her that Alan was not suitable for her because Alan wouldn't hurt people. But when Chishan found that she was not fooling around with children, but liked Alan from the bottom of her heart. When Anna was 18 years old, she told Wen Chishan about her birthday wish. She said that she wanted to marry Alan. 2 years later, Wen Chishan suddenly fell ill in a skiing adventure. The old man thought he was dying soon, so he urgently wanted to help Anna realize her 18th birthday wish. He really forced Alan to marry Anna. Of course, Alan refused. He had always regarded Anna as a sister, and suddenly asked him to marry a child he felt had not grown up at all. He could not accept it. Grandfather and grandson are in a stalemate. At that time, Anna was already 20 years old and finally understood something. She was afraid that Wen Chishan's condition would worsen because of this. She told Wen Chishan that she didn't like Alan and told him not to force Alan anymore. However, Wen Chishan knows her temperament too well. No matter how she shows that she just doesn't like Alan, Wen Chishan can still see that she is lying and continues to insist on Alan marrying her. Anna suddenly realized that she had made a big disaster. She regretted letting Wen Chishan know her mind, and even regretting what she said in front of Wen Chishan when she was 18 years old and wanted to marry Alan. A few days later, Alan was afraid that Wen Chishan would die in his hospital bed and agreed to compromise. Anna was not so excited, but took the initiative to find Alan and said to him, "So, let's get married by agreement? Let's pretend to be married first, wait until Grandpa heals, and we divorce." Alan, pressing his brow bone, agreed to her proposal. So Anna and Alan went to the marriage hall. Originally, Anna really wanted to follow the marriage agreement she had agreed with Ellen, but she couldn't help wavering in the face of more time for Ellen. She naively thought our married can be a long time of love. She could try to make Ellen fall in love with herself. That's why there was that bold seduction. Until one time I went to his high school reunion with Alan. Later, she happened to hear an outsider's view of their marriage. When they got married, many people thought it was the marriage of the Wen family and the Xiao family, so they had a lot of doubts and inexplicable about this marriage. The problem is not their age difference, but their family. Because the Xiao family was already weak at that time, far less powerful than the Wen family, the marriage seemed to benefit little from the Wen family, but only greatly benefited the Xiao family, and the Wen family could have a better choice. Anna was so well protected from childhood that she didn't know how to cheat in the shopping mall. The circle of contacts was very different from Alan's. In hindsight, without Wen Chishan's excessive preference and Wen Chishan as a backer, she would never have been able to match Alan. Anna suddenly found that Chen's route seemed to be wrong. She cut off the messy idea and turned to look at Alan. "This is not the way back to Qingzhou apartment." Alan's voice was very weak. "Tomorrow is not Sunday? Back to Yunjin Bay." Anna wanted to refute, because she had planned to go back and finish reading the social contract tonight, but felt that Alan was not in a good mood now, so she swallowed what she wanted to say and was silent. There is a villa where Alan lives in Yunjin Bay. Anna lives here during summer and winter vacations, so there is also Anna's exclusive cloakroom and all kinds of necessary daily necessities. The villa in Yunjin Bay is much more spacious than Qingzhou apartment. Anna came here again after a few months and had a short-term maladjustment. The crystal chandelier overhead was not turned on. Only 2 rows of light white strips were turned on. Anna looked up and saw her and Alan's figure projected in the mirror of the wall. Today, she is wearing a solid color chiffon skirt, a light pink outer shirt, and a pair of British-style round-headed small leather shoes. Long hair tied into a ball head, earlobe hanging a pair of small daisy earrings. Leaving her charming long dress and sexy high heels, she seemed to return to her naive appearance. And behind Alan, tall, wearing a gray t-shirt, black trousers, light white light, look cold, the whole person's temperament mature confusion. Looking at the 2 figures in the mirror, Anna gave birth to some sense of disobedience. Ellen is too mature, but she is still like a child. His face was suddenly pinched. "What are you doing?" The voice was slightly heavy and magnetic. Ellen had put the slippers at her feet. Anna returned to her mind and bowed her head to change her shoes. Alan had changed his shoes and was ready to move on, but the belt was suddenly hung up by Anna's little skirt. He stepped back and gently tore Anna's skirt apart. Anna was a little stunned, looking back at him. Alan said nothing, had dealt with this small situation just now, and lifted his foot to leave.
Alan.
Anna took off her makeup and couldn't find where Alan had gone. She called out a few times and heard Alan say, "Here it is." Alan was standing on a balcony smoking when Anna shuffled over with her pink slippers and looked at him at the balcony door. "Where's my nightgown with cherries on the cuff?" A nightgown with cherries on the cuffs? How does he know? Not in the closet? Alan rode. He had a cigarette in his hand. The balcony light was not on. The light was dim, and the angular face fell in the shadow. "No, I didn't find it," said Anna. "You call and ask Aunt Fong." Alan knew that Anna had obsessive-compulsive disorder and was difficult to serve. Sometimes she had to wear her favorite pajamas to sleep. Anna said, "I did, but Aunt Fong said she couldn't find the place." Alan pinched his eyebrows and twisted the cigarette out of his hand. "Let's go. I'll accompany you to find it." Alan threw the cigarette end into the ashtray, with a sound like rolled sand. Some sense of chaos. Anna nodded. The two came to the cloakroom. "Aunt Fong said it was here, but it wasn't," said Anna. In the process of looking for it, Alan turned to a soft light green sling nightgown and handed it to Anna. "Can't you wear this one?" Anna shook her head. "I just want to wear that one." Alan ran out of patience and said, "Wear this one tonight." "No." Anna's tone was weak. After looking at Alan for a while, Anna lost confidence and said, "All right." Take the light green suspender nightgown from Alan's hand. After taking a bath, Anna felt that it was still early, and she was not sleepy, so she wanted to go to Alan's study to see if there was a book, The Social Contract. After looking for a circle in the study, she really found it, so she found a comfortable sofa and sat down and looked at it. At 9 o'clock, Alan received a phone call from a friend, went out the door, and came back, thinking that Anna was mostly asleep, but when he entered the bedroom, he saw no one in bed. He came out to look for a meeting and found someone in the study. The little girl fell asleep on a sofa, with a book at hand. Alan went over, glancing at the title of the book, and his eyes fell on Anna's ruddy face. The light green skirt with suspenders was very feminine, which lined her skin with whiter collarbones and seemed to be able to lie and whine. A pair of thin white legs were only half hidden by the skirt, looming as if every inch of skin was hooking people unknowingly. Alan licked his back molars. "I have to admit that the little girl is sick a lot, but even if she falls asleep, she is too beautiful." A few minutes later, Alan took Anna to bed and tucked her in. He turned off all the lights in the room, leaving only a small table lamp. Perhaps the beauty of the little princess on the bed was too attractive. Alan took off his shirt and walked towards the bathroom with his eyes stopped. A memory comes to mind. Ward, when Chishan voiced stubborn, "You must marry Pear." "She's too young. That's impossible. She is 20 years old and has reached the legal age for marriage. I don't like her. Pear should marry someone who loves her. I will delay her." Feelings can be cultivated slowly. Grandpa, I can promise you anything else. This is no good. Stalemate for several days. When Chishan chest violently ups and downs, smashed a cup, anger billowing. You don't want to marry, line. Then I let words marry. I know Yen Yen likes Pears. You are right. Pears should be allowed to marry someone who loves her. Alan's face changed in an instant. But Pear doesn't like him. Feelings can be cultivated slowly. As long as words are good for Pear, I don't believe Pear will not fall in love with him one day. When's words are not worthy of Pear's. Alan sank. Then you marry. When Chishan stared at him, the air stagnated for a long time and finally heard him compromise. "Well, I'll marry." Alan went to the bed, his eyes resting on Anna's little sleeping face. He couldn't help but reach out and pinch. When Anna woke up, it was already noon. She also, "I don't know how I can sleep so well. I can't think of it several times in the middle, probably because I was interrupted by Alan in the morning. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and Alan got up." Anna usually has a good sleep quality. She can't wake up in the middle of the night, but today she is easily awakened by Alan's wake-up, maybe because she recognized the bed. When Ellen left, She went back to sleep, and then slept until now. Anna sat up with her fluffy hair and a shallow sleep mark on her left cheek, sinking into a half-minute sluggishness. Today is Sunday. Why can Alan not sleep in and get up so early? Anna lounged out of bed and went to the bathroom to wash up. When she went downstairs, Aunt Fong had already asked the kitchen to prepare lunch for noon, with Anna's favorite braised lion head and crystal shrimp. After lunch, Anna didn't ask her little sisters to go out to play, but stayed at home reading. There's a bit of a tail left in that social contract. Soon after the afternoon, Anna finished reading the social contract and picked up her cell phone, wondering if Alan would come back for dinner. When hesitating, a new message pops out of the chat interface. Cheap husband. I have a dinner party tonight. I won't go back. Let Aunt Fong make whatever you want for dinner. Anna frowned and replied, Oh. At this time, Aunt Fong came over and said, Madam, are you hungry? Are you ready for dinner? Anna said, Hungry. After dinner, Anna wanted the driver to take her back to Qingzhou apartment near Mingda, although there was no morning class on Monday morning. When preparing to go out, Anna's cell phone beeped a few times. In the roommate group named Four Fairies, Kong Yuan sent a link. Kong Yuan. I didn't expect that as your roommate. I finally learned this important news through forum posts. I think you need to explain to us at pairs and down jackets. Nia Shan. What happened to the pair? Kong Yuan. See for yourself. Han Ranxue. Bubble. Wait and see. Han Ranxue. Yuan always walks in the front line of eating melons, waiting for me to be Kong. Anna opened the post with doubts. When she clicked in, the title flashed to her eyes. Hashtag school flower walks with strange men on campus late at night hashtag. The landlord posted 2 photos. In the photo, Anna is wearing a mask, but because of her delicate eyebrows and eyes, as well as her demeanor, she can still be distinguished, with a tall and big man beside her. Men wearing a black shirt, wearing a cap, temperament outstanding. Both photos only show the man's side face. The man in this picture is either someone else or Alan. Last night she was studying in the library until 9 o'clock, and it was Alan who picked her up. Because Mingdao was very close to where she lived, she asked Alan not to drive and to walk to pick her up, otherwise she could go back by herself. I didn't expect to be photographed. Anna looked at the photos carefully again and found that Alan's left hand was not captured in the 2 photos. Otherwise, he wouldn't have missed the same ring as hers on his left hand. It is not the first time that she and Alan are plasticouples. This information should have been transmitted to the school from the rich circle of Mingcheng. Anna lost interest in brushing this post and was about to retreat when she saw a new comment that made her frown. 102L. I'm sure each plays his own game. The marriage of the rich and powerful is like this. The interests are tied up and the feelings are not mentioned. I heard that his husband has many women outside, from the internet to the female stars. The beauty queen probably knows it too, but she pretends to wear a mask and then keeps it gigolo in private. Otherwise, why do you think the beauty queen wears a mask and the man wears a hat? Wearing a ring on my hand, I dare not fall in love blatantly. She stared at the sentence. I heard that his husband has many women outside, from internet celebrities to female stars, and read it again. Clearly no Alan, that person, not a philandering, the heart-only business people, will not do such a dirty thing behind her. But saw this sentence. Anna is still not very well. She imagined that if Alan really raised a woman outside, then she should strangle him? Well, it'll strangle him. Suddenly, someone pinched her face. Ellen came back at some unknown time and stood behind her. The shadow cast over her. This man, how silent. What are you doing? His voice was deep and magnetic. Anna didn't answer her, turned off the phone, and fell to the table. A faint smell of alcohol from Alan's body. Anna turned her head, was about to say something, feel the back of the neck is held. Ellen leaned over unexpectedly, her nose and lips sucking along the back of her ear, her strength growing heavier. Anna was stunned and raised her head to look at him, while Ellen buckled the back of her head and sealed her lips, carrying dust from the outside and pouring it into her throat. As he pressed the kiss, Anna smelled the alcohol on him more clearly. Hey, how much wine did you drink? Anna kicked him on her toes. Ellen didn't answer her, suddenly lifting her up to the table and licking her chin inch by inch. Anna was wearing a short one-necked dress with a thin layer of translucent pleated suspenders on both shoulders, one of which was quickly ripped off by Alan. Anna was stunned for a few seconds. Before she could return to her mind, there was a brief pain in her left shoulder. Ellen took a bite on her shoulder. It hurts. Anna punched him. Ellen stopped her lips again. Anna refused, pushing him hard. She's a neat freak, and Ellen wants to touch her without taking a shower. No way. What are you doing? Anna was speechless with him. When the two were pushing and pushing, they accidentally touched a new voice that popped up on Anna's mobile phone interface. Pear, do you really have a gigolo? This voice was played out recklessly in the large, quiet, and spacious living room through Alan's slightly gasping breath. The air has a stop. Anna looked at Alan's deep, inquiring eyes. Small white face. Alan's lip angle pulled a shallow arc and pinched her chin. He was dressed in a suit and leather shoes. His face was angular under the light, and there was a kind of sexy coldness. The fundus of his eyes was like a wine jar, and the bridge of his nose was bright. He had been dyed with wine and had a bit of evil taste. Anna licked her lips, pretending to be such a thing, and said, Yes. I have many gigolos, from net red to male stars. Anna picked her eyebrows. Alan's throat overflowed with a chuckle and raised her chin a little. How many are there? Anna replied without thinking. I haven't counted. The next second, Alan kissed him, before he controlled his strength, which would have been like a complete tear. Open the wolf skin. Anna flopped for a while, but did not give up the struggle. She hammered him with a small fist. Alan finally lightened her strength and pecked along her ear bones. She clasped the back of her head. Her low voice seemed to smile. What do you do every day? Someone reports to me. Do you have a white face? Can I not know? Stinky man. Send someone to spy on her and say so rightfully. I'm going back to Chingju apartment. Anna wanted to jump off the table, but she was still imprisoned by Alan, circling in front of her. His vomit spilled on her face. Isn't there no morning class tomorrow? Anna didn't open her face. She didn't want him to get so close. Yes. Ellen pinched her chin. Stay tonight. I'll send you there tomorrow morning. Anna has always felt that Alan is a man who may have been indifferent for decades and suddenly starts to get out of hand. So even if you don't love her but for her flesh, and enjoy the body as well, they are still in the marriage relationship, she has not also coveted his beauty? Therefore, they have never been restrained and are not stingy with themselves in that respect. This is a normal physiological need. If one day she really raises a gigolo outside, it should only be for one reason, that is, she is tired of sleeping with Alan. After the battle, Anna fell into the quilt softly and quickly fell asleep. It was July in an instant, getting closer and closer to the examination week, and Anna entered a tense review. Every time the examination week approaches, the library of Mingda University will enter the full stage. One is hard to find. In order to occupy a good position, there is usually a long queue at the entrance of a library at 7 o'clock in the morning. Anna also wants to stay in a small apartment where the environment is more comfortable than the library for review, but her self-control is not strong, and there is no group of people fighting. She is particularly prone to slack off, so she chose to go to the library to review. Among the 3 roommates, Kong Yuan has a boyfriend, so reviewing is naturally an appointment with his boyfriend. Nia Shanshan met a small partner from other colleges who often made an appointment with the library and study hall as early as freshman year, so only Han Ranxue accompanied Anna to the library. The two agreed that you would get up early today, and I would get up early tomorrow. This day Han Ranxue has a part-time job. Anna went to the library to review alone. After she chose a seat, she found a seat and sat down. When she took out her exercise book and pen, she found out slowly that the person on the right was also from the law school. And this man is the light of law school. Cheng Luoxin noticed her gaze and cast her eyes over. Anna didn't forget that she was scorned by Cheng Xuexin. She gave up the idea of greeting each other and pretended not to know each other. She turned her eyes back and opened her exercise book. It was Cheng Luoxin who took the initiative to speak. I didn't expect Miss Shouta to come to the library to study.
What does she mean by this?
She doesn't think she's one of those unlearned big ladies, does she? If she doesn't have any skills, how can she get into Mingda? Why didn't you think that I didn't look like I loved learning? I often come to the library, but the library in our school is too big. You haven't met me, said Anna. Cheng Luoxin's eyes fell on her serious face for a moment. She was silent for a long time and replied, "Oh." Anna felt a punch on the cotton. Forget it. Tell her so much what to do. Anna ignored Cheng Luo Xian and buried her head to brush the topic. Cheng Luo Xian also didn't say anything. From morning to afternoon, except for the time to eat in the canteen at noon, Anna sat at the same table with the light of the college for the first time. In the process of brushing the topic, she actually couldn't completely ignore the existence of Cheng Luoxin. She subconsciously observed her with a corner of the eye. Anna found that Cheng Luoxin bought the same set of exercise books as her and had just started to brush them. It was soon discovered that Cheng Luoxin brushed the topic so fast that she usually only finished one page, and she brushed 3 pages. Immediately feel the IQ crushed and critical. So after that, she refrained from paying attention to Cheng Luoxin. As it got dark, Anna massaged around her eyes, tidied up the table, and prepared to go to the canteen for a meal. Next to her, Cheng Luoxin left work before her. Anna didn't even know when she left. Out of the library door, Anna saw the figure of Cheng Luo Xian. As she approached the bottom of the ladder, she was blocked by a man in a yellow sweater. The man's face was pleasing, but Cheng Luo Xian's reaction was indifferent. At some point, Cheng Luo Xian wanted to bypass the man and leave. The man stopped him and looked a little humble. Anna looked at it with curiosity for a while, then inferred that the man should be Cheng Luoxin's boyfriend. The two quarreled, and the boyfriend came to get back together, but Cheng Luoxin was cold and ignored. Soon lost interest, Anna withdrew her eyes and continued to walk towards the canteen. At this time, she saw the man suddenly change his face and grabbed Cheng Luo Xian's hand. In the process of Cheng Luoxin breaking free, the mobile phone was lost, but the man chose to ignore it and continued to hold her and go to a small forest. Anna immediately realized that the situation was wrong, hesitated for a while, pulled out her cell phone, and dialed the alarm number of the school security office.